The Orleans Audubon Society is involved in quite a lot of avian rescue. We rescue wildlife throughout Louisiana, and most of what we do is provide short-term care and get the bird to a licensed wildlife facility. We recently rescued a barred owl that was a young of the year, and it had been injured in Hurricane Ida. And a couple of weeks later, it was found on the ground, unable to fly in Pearl River, Louisiana. And I went and picked it up and took care of it. It was emaciated and dehydrated. It was in a severe state of shock. And the flight feathers, all the primary and secondary feathers on one of its wings were broken off. And it looked like it had been caught up in something during the hurricane. And because it was, all these feathers were broken on one wing, this bird was completely unable to fly. And it clearly will need to have long-term rehabilitation where it needs to grow those feathers back in. Okay, so here the guy is when he's feeling a little bit better. He was given fluids and is more hydrated. And so now he's ready to start eating. And you can tell that it's a young bird because you can see those little fluffy feathers still on the head. And he was so hungry that it didn't take him long to start eating, but he really needed to be hydrated first. And so he was just given enough care to stabilize him for the long trek to Wings of Hope Wildlife Sanctuary in Livingston Parish, where his rehabilitation is continuing. The Wings of Hope Wildlife Sanctuary is a well-established rehabilitation center that's licensed by the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So they are able to rescue wild birds legally and rehabilitate them. And Leslie Lattimore is the director there. You may want to consider supporting this worthy cause. And please also consider supporting Orleans Audubon Society on Giving Tuesday on November 30th. This is a swallowtail kite that we also rescued that was a young bird that had fallen from the nest. Orleans Audubon Society conserves wildlife and wild places and fosters an appreciation for nature in the community.